ඉතින් ඔන්න අඛණ්ඩව 4 වෙනි දවසටත් අපේ ලයිව් ස්ට්‍රීම් එකත් එක්ක එකතු වෙන්න වෙහෙස මහන්සිය නොලබා නිදි වරාගෙන හිටපු ඔයාලා හැමදෙනාම සුප උදෑසනක් කියලා පිළිගන්නවා. ඉතින් අද තමයි E3 ඉවෙන්ට් එකේ අන්තිම සහ 4 වෙනි දවස. ඉතින් අපි මේ වෙනකන් දවස් 3ක් තිස්සේ ලයිව් ස්ට්‍රීම්ස් අරගෙන ආවා ප්‍රධාන ඉවෙන්ට්ස් කිහිපය. ඉතින් අද දවසේ ඉවෙන්ට්ස් දෙකක් අපි අරගෙන ඉන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. එකක් තමයි මේ Bandai Namco ඉවෙන්ට් එක. දෙවෙනි එක තමයි E3 official award ceremony එක. ඉතින් ඔය දෙකත් එක්ක තමයි අද ඔයාලා එකතු වෙන්නේ. ඉවෙන්ට් එක පටන් ගන්න නියමිත වෙලා තියෙන තව විනාඩි 10කින් විතර. ඉතින් අපි හැමදාම විනාඩි 10ක් විතර කලින් මේකට එකතු වුණා. අනිත් දේ තමයි කියන්න ඕන අද Facebook එක කරා live එක අරගෙන වෙන්නේ නැහැ. තාක්ෂණික ගැටලුවක් හින්දා. එහෙනම් YouTube වලින් විතරයි අරගෙන එන්නේ. ඉතින් Facebook වලින් බලන්න හිටපු කට්ටියට ගොඩක් සමාවිල්ලනවා. මේ වැඩේ Facebook කරා අරගෙන එන්න වෙන්න බැරි වීම ගැන. හරි. එතකොට මොකද්ද මේ Bandai Namco කියලා කියන්නේ? අද අපි මේ බලන්න යන ඉවෙන්ට් එක කාගේද? Bandai Namco කියලා කියන්නේ ජපනීස්. ඒ කියන්නේ ජපාන වීඩියෝ ක්‍රීඩා සමාගමක්. මේක පටන් ගන්නේ ඒ කියන්නේ ජපානයේ ඇති වුණ වීඩියෝ ක්‍රීඩා සමාගම් වලින් ටිකක් මෑත කාලේදී ඇති වෙච්ච සමාගමක්. 2006 දී තමයි පටන් ගන්නේ ටෝකියෝ වල. එතකොට මේක ජපානයෙන් පටන් අරගෙන ලෝකයේ ගොඩක් රටවල් වලට විහිදලා ගියා. ඉතින් ඒ වගේම ප්‍රධාන ගේම්ස් ගොඩක් අපිට අරගෙන ආපු කම්පැනි එකක් විශේෂ වශයෙන්ම පබ්ලිෂර් කෙනෙක් විතර තමයි මේ Bandai Namco වැඩ කරන්නේ. ඒක ඒකට ඒ කට්ටියක ඩෙවලොපින් ස්ටුඩියෝස් කිහිපයකුත් තියෙනවා. ඒ වුණාට ප්‍රධාන වශයෙන්ම පබ්ලිෂර් කෙනෙක් විතර තමයි වැඩ කරන්නේ. වෙන කට්ටිය හදන ගේම්ස් වෙන කට්ටිය ඩෙවලොප් කරන ගේම්ස් මෙයාලා අරගෙන පබ්ලිෂින් වලට තමයි මෙයාලගේ වැඩි අවධානයක් යොමු කරන්නේ. එතකොට ඒ ගේම්ස් අතරින් ප්‍රධාන ගේම්ස් කිහිපයක් ඔයාලා ගහලත් ඇති ගොඩක් වෙලාවට Dark Souls පබ්ලිෂ් කරන්නේ Bandai Namco. එතකොට Project Cars පබ්ලිෂ් කරන්නේ මෙයාලා. ඉතින් ඒව තමයි ජනප්‍රියම ගේම්ස්. ඊට අමතරව God Eater ඒ වගේ ගේම්ස් තමයි ලංකාවේ බහුතරයක් අතර ජනප්‍රිය වෙලා තියෙන Bandai Namco වල පබ්ලිෂ් කරපු ගේම්ස්. ඊට අමතරව Ace Combat, එතකොට Dragon Ball, Tekken, ඒ වගේ Dead to Rights ඒ වගේ ගේම්ස් හදන්නෙත් මේ Bandai Namco ලම තමයි. හදන්නේ නෙවෙයි සමා වෙන්න ඕන. මේ පබ්ලිෂ් කරන්නෙත් Bandai Namco ලා තමයි. එතකොට අද දවසේ මේ E3 වල ඉවෙන්ට් එක Bandai Namco ලාගේ තියෙන ඉවෙන්ට් එක අපි හිතනවා විනාඩි 40ක් වගේ කාලයක් තමයි පැවතෙන්නේ කියලා. මොකද තව පැයකින් එයාලගේ තව ලයිව් එකක් ෂෙඩියුල් කරලා තියෙනවා. එහෙනම් අනිවාර්යයෙන් විනාඩි 45ක් හෝ විනාඩි 50ක අතර කාලයක් ඇතුළත මේ ඉවෙන්ට් එක ඉවර වෙයි කියලා අපි හිතනවා. එතකොට මේ වෙනකොටත් Bandai Namco වල එයාලගේ ගොඩක් ප්‍රධානම ගේම් එකත් මේ ඉවෙන්ට් එකේදී පෙන්නලා ඉවරයි. ඔයාලා සමර් ගේම් ෆෙස්ට් එක බැලුවා නම් මතක ඇති. සමර් ගේම් ෆෙස්ට් එකේදී එයාලගේ ප්‍රධානම ගේම් එක Elden Ring announce කරා. Elden Ring හදන්නේ ඔයාලා දන්නවා Dark Souls ලා හදපු From Softwares තමයි Elden Rings හදන්නේ. ඉතින් Elden Rings හදන Elden Rings වල announcement trailer එක Summer Game Fest එකේදී අරගෙන ආවා. ඉතින් ඒ හින්දා අපිට ඒ ගේම් එකේ අලුත් තොරතුරු මේ ඉවෙන්ට් එකේදී බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි කියලා හිතනවා. ඒ වගේම Dark Souls වල අලුත් මොනවා හරි දෙයක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒවත් මේ ඉවෙන්ට් එකේදී අරගෙන ඉන්න ඔයාලා එයාලම කටයුතු කරાવી. ඊට අමතරව Naruto ඒ වගේම Little Nightmares 2 announce කරා. ඒකේ තොරතුරු සහ Naruto අලුත් ගේම් එකක තොරතුරු ගැන මෙයාලා මේ ඉවෙන්ට් එකේදී අරගෙන එයි කියලා තමයි අපි උපකල්පනය කරන්නේ. ඊට අමතරව තව ගේම්ස් කිහිපයක්ම තියෙනවා. අපි බලමු ඒ ගේම්ස් මේ ඉවෙන්ට් එකේදී අරගෙන එන්න Bandai Namco ක්‍රියා කරයිද කියලා. හරි ඉතින් කීප දෙනෙක් බලනවා ලයිව් එක. දැන් නම් මහන්සිත් ඇති දවස් 3ක් තිස්සේ එක දිගට හැරගෙන ඉඳලා මටත් මහන්සි. ඒත් ඉතින් අපි අන්තිම දවසත් මේ විදියට ලයිව් එකකින් අරගෙන එන්න තීරණය කරා. හරි අපි බලමු මේ ඔෆිෂියල් channel එක පැත්තේ ගිහිල්ලා තව නම් විනාඩි 5ක් විතර කාලයක් තියෙනවා වැඩේ පටන් ගන්න. මේකේ ලයිව් එක යනවා. එයාලගේ වෙන
parent might hear that's like Joseph.
Okay, hold on.
Are you watching?
Okay, wait, how about this? How about this?
මේ
your parents are virgins.
ආයෙත් මතක් කරන්නේ Facebook එක කරා අද ලයිව් එක අරගෙන ඉන්නේ නැහැ. අද ලයිව් එක අරගෙන ඉන්නේ YouTube හරහා විතරයි. ඉතින් අද හොඳින් ඉන්නවා. අර ඔයාලා දන්නවා අද කම්පැනි එකේ පොඩි ප්‍රශ්නයක් වුණා කියලා. ඉතින් මෙහෙමයි එයාලත් එක්ක මම කතා කරා. එයාලා මේ කමියුනිකේෂන්ස් හරි හොඳයි. අපි සහෝදරව කතා කරා මේ ප්‍රශ්න ගැන. ඉතින් එයාලත් මේ ගැන දැනුවත් ඉඳලා නැහැ. එයාලා කියන විදිහට ඉතින් ඒකට ඇත්තටම කරන්න දෙයක්වත් නැහැ. එයාලා ඉතින් මට කිව්වා එයාලා දැනුවත් හිටියා නම් එයාලා කිසිම වෙලාවක මේ ඩොමේන් එක පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නැහැ. එයාලගේ වැඩ කටයුතු වලට කියලා. ඉතින් මොන වුණත් දැන් වෙච්ච දේ වෙලා ඉවරයි. හින්දා Planet 361 ඩොමේන් එක මට ඉදිරියට පාවිච්චි කරන්න බැරි වෙනවා. නමුත් YouTube channel එකටවත් Facebook page එකටවත් ඒක ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. සහ අපි දෙගොල්ල එකඟතාවයකට ආවා මොනවා හරි එහෙම ගැටලුවක් වුණොත් අපි දෙගොල්ල එකිනෙකා වෙනුවෙන් පෙනී සිටිනවා. එහෙම ගැටලුවක් ඇති වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ප්‍රශ්නයක් ඇති වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. නමුත් මට ඒ ඩොමේන් එක වෙබ්සයිට් එකකටවත් එහෙම කිසිම දෙයකට භාවිතා කරන්න බෑ. නීතිමය පැත්තේ ඒකට අවසරයක් නැහැ. ඉතින් එහෙම ගැටලුවක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් එහෙම තමයි. ඉතින් මේ වගේ දේවල් ප්‍රශ්න එනවා. ඉතින් අපි මේ ප්‍රශ්න වලින් නොවැටි නොසැලී ඉදිරියට යන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් අපේ අරමුණ ඉෂ්ට කරගන්න අමාරු වෙනවා. ඉතින් මගේ ඔයාලට හොඳ දෙයක් අරගෙන එනක ඔයාලට අලුත් දෙයක් අරගෙන එන එක තමයි මගේ අරමුණ. ඉතින් ඒ අරමුණ පැත්තෙන් ගත්තාම වැඩේ හොඳ හින්දා ගැටලුවක් කෙන එකක් නැති වෙයි කියලා හිතනවා. අපි බලමු ඉතින් ඉදිරියට ගැටලුවක් ආවොත් අපි දෙගොල්ල අවබෝධයෙන් වැඩ කටයුතු කරાવી. දැන් අපි දැනට ඒ කට්ටියගේ මාකටිං සෙක්ෂන් එකත් එක්ක මාකටිං මැනේජර්ස්ලත් එක්ක කතා කරලා තියෙන්නේ. එහෙම ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙන එකක් නැති වෙයි කියලා හිතනවා ඉස්සරහට. ප්‍රශ්නයක් වුණත් අපි දෙගොල්ල ඒක කතා කරලා ඒ ගැටලුව සමතේකටපත් කරගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකට ඉතින් ඒ සඳහා ඒ වෙනුවෙන් මම ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා මේ සමාගමේ කළමනාකාරීත්වයට සහ මාකටිං සෙක්ෂන් එකට මේකදී මේ ප්‍රශ්න ගැටලුවේදී අපිත් එක්ක කතා කරලා ඒ සහයෝගීතාවය පළ කරාට ඉතින් ඒකටත් මම මේක අවස්ථාවක් කරගන්නවා. ඉතින් ඔහොම තමයි. ඔහොම දේවල් වෙනවා. ඉතින් එහෙම දේවල් වලට අපි මුහුණ දෙන්න සූදානම්ෙන් තමයි මේවා පටන් ගන්න ඕන. ඉතින් එහෙම දෙයක් වුණාම ඒක කම්පනයක් තමයි. ඒකට ඉතින් කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. ඔහොම තමයි. ඕක සාමාන්‍ය දෙයක්. හරි. රයිට් අපි මේ පැත්තට යමු.
Each and every game we've talked about Showcase had anything to do with during our 4 days here. Of course, you can wish list, you can pre-order, you can have a good time. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. There it is. Go get to the rescue right there. Click on that. That's the one. They need you. Fallen Aces. Click on that one. Go for Cat Cafe Manager. Everything from Freedom Games.
Yeah. Everything for free. We keep putting them over, and for no reason, because they're great. So yeah, get all those games. Wish list them all.
And hey, while you're spending money, have you ordered your E3 merch yet? If not, check out e3expo.com/shop and get your order in today.
Bomber jackets on point.
Very nice, very nice.
Long enough for us.
I know,
Did you
right?
know this is sleeve length?
I know, it's very, very nice.
Really good.
Now, the big question is, what would you guys like to see here when Bandai Namco presents House of Ashes?
I am not familiar with this, but I have been told that it is scary. And I don't do well with scary.
Yeah.
You know, you asked about Code Miko. It's scary. I don't know if I can handle that.
That's a different kind of scary.
Yeah,
That
true.
is a much different.
So I'm looking forward to, you know, a different kind of tone of presentation.
Would you like me to hold your hand during this presentation?
Sure, Puppy. I'm okay with that. You know, that's great.
Yeah, if you're not familiar, everybody, of course, this is going to be Bandai Namco. I still want to say Namco Bandai. It's when they changed the name, it was years ago. It still screws me up to this day. Of course, there was Supermassive Games on the Dark Picture Anthology, a whole bunch of different horror games that are coming out in quick succession.
මුලින්ම
This is
කම්පැනි
the
එක
third
පටන්
one
ගන්නේ
in
Namco
Anthology
කියලා.
already. But
පස්සේ
if you
තමයි
didn't know
Bandai
that before,
Namco
of
කියලා
course, Supermassive made
යාලා
Until
එකතු
Dawn,
වෙලා වැඩ
and now
කරන්න
PlayStation
ගන්නේ.
hit that then led to this deal. Of course, they've done Man
ගොඩක්
in Medan
publisher
already.
කෙනෙක් විදිහට තමයි
Now
කලින්
they
වගේ
did
මෙයාලා
Hope,
වැඩ
now they're
කරන්නේ.
going to see more of House of Ashes. And so yeah, this one's an exciting different thing, right, Jackie?
Well, I have been closely monitoring every trailer, any gameplay that is dropped
මෙයාලා
on this,
බලන්න පාරේ
and
වෙලාවට
it
මම
is
schedule කරලා පටන් ගන්න
so
හැටි
scary. Like
Yeah.
I really cannot emphasize that enough.
තප්පරයක්වත් විනාඩියක්වත්
But
එහා
for
මෙහා
me,
නොවි.
it has to be more than
ලස්සනට
scary.
වෙලාවට
It has to
පටන්
be
ගන්නවා.
more than these terrifying
ඒතර
aliens.
සංවිධානාත්මක වැඩ
For some
කරනවා.
reason, the story really hits with me, and you can also tell that they've invested so much time into this project. And I'm really hoping we get more of an inside look here because
මේ
I
අතරමැද
am
ඉන්ටර්වියුස්
on
තියෙනවනේ.
board.
ඒ
It is
ඉන්ටර්වියුස්
bloody
වලින්
and
කතා
gory
කරන
and
time එක
aliens
ගානට
and-
manage
Yeah,
කරනවා.
I'm here for it.
හිතා ගන්න අමාරුයි.
Not your cup of tea, but 100% mine.
You know, hey, I'm here for it.
Take it out, baby.
We'll watch it all.
So, yeah.
ඒවත් අපි
Opposing
ඉගෙන ගන්න
forces
ඕනේ
get
මේ
dropped
වගේ
into
events වලින්.
Sumerian temple,
හරි
right? And all sorts of
වෙලාවට
supernatural
හරි
elements start
Yeah.
popping
හොරක් වෙන්නේ
up.
නැතුව
We'll see what's going on here.
event එක
So,
පටන්
Golden
ගන්න
Boy,
හැටි.
we need you to get psyched up. We need you to get
Yeah.
ready
Oh
for the
no,
skits.
I'm excited to watch it. I'm going to be very
මේක
scared. I'm
පැය
looking
ගානක් තියෙන
forward
event
to it.
එකක්
I'm going to
නෙමෙයි.
go
මේක
over to the
විනාඩි
media area.
පරිමුණ තියෙන්නේ
And
40ක්
I'm going to, you know,
45ක්
yeah,
වගේ
I'm going to be
දේවල් තමයි
horrified because it's going to be
බලාපොරොත්තු
great. It's time though for our next presenter.
Lahiru?
And here with their 2021 E3 presentation
වෙලාවක්
is
වෙන එකක්
Bandai Namco
නැති වෙයි.
presents House of Ashes.
right event එක පටන් ගන්න යන්නේ. අපි බලමු event එක.
ancient horror has awoken from its slumber and is hungry for blood. Shall we see how many have fallen into shadow?
Satellite sweeps of the war zone have uncovered what appears to be an underground storage facility. What I strongly suspect is where chemical weapons are hidden, so we need to move fast.
To descend into the unknown alone is extremely
6 days in
brave.
Fallujah.
Or extremely foolish.
We're gonna psyop this shit.
Brothers in arms, or will it be a case of each man for himself?
Down! Get down! They're up on the ridge! Return fire!
You teeter on the edge of an abyss. Your survival depends on the choices you make. They will be as a compass, guiding you through the unknown.
Where on God's green earth have we landed?
What nightmare have these luckless souls fallen into?
You keep lookout.
Look out. Look out for what?
One by one,
මේක
their
මතකයි නේ
lives
ඔයාලට මේකත්
will be snuffed out. Unless you can find the means to save them.
announce කරා.
Trapped beneath the earth, swallowed
We have to move. Let's go.
by the void. Will you find the path to salvation? Or be lost in the darkness forever?
ආසම් ෆැෂස් මේක announce කරා නේද කලින් මට මතකයි සමර් ගේම් ෆෙස්ට් එකේ වෙන්න ඕන ඒක announce කරා House of Ashes night යාලා කතා කරන්න යන්නේ මේ ගැන.
We're here at Supermassive to talk about the next game in the Dark Pictures anthology, House of Ashes. And I'm joined by exec producer Dan. How you doing?
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. Right,
Really cool.
so let's start at the very start. We're going to be talking about House of Ashes for most of the interview, but for those that don't know, tell us about the Dark Pictures anthology.
The Dark Pictures is a series of narrative, story-driven, branching horror stories. Each one is standalone. They each tell a different story, completely separated from the others, but within the same universe. So there is connection between them. House of Ashes is set at the end of the Iraq War in 2003. We've linked 4,000 years ago. Let's set the story up.
So tell us more about the theme and themes, I suppose, within House of Ashes.
It starts off with a military unit. They've got some new technology that can look for weapons of mass destruction underground. They think they've identified something in the Zagros Mountains in Iraq. And then, as part of that, they come into conflict with an Iraqi unit. There's a pitched firefight, and then the two groups are plunged underground. There's an earthquake of some sort, and it's revealed that there's a hidden temple underground. These big, massive structures, but these different groups, they're all separated. Radio contact is lost, and they're submerged in this black dark. And then they're going to start hearing things and seeing things, and people are going to start disappearing. So this time it's a very real threat.
All of the Dark Pictures games, they all pull something from real life or from history, from facts. What's the case with the myth or historical path?
So we love looking at reading myths and legends and stories and doing our research. And we know our fans love it as well, because there's something that they can link into afterwards. And I love doing that when I'm playing games and watching movies myself. So this one's set 4,000 years ago, the Akkadian Empire, and this terrible evil that happened. We had this self-proclaimed god king, Naram Sin, and he essentially cursed his people. He sacked this temple and brought famine and devastation to his own people. And so a lot of the history is lost, but we've done a lot of research about it. And then we had a lot of happy accidents that linked into the story we wanted to tell. And the fun thing for us is we get to do our own take on it. We get to twist it, and obviously we've made our own truth from it.
At the end of the sneak peek, the trailer, we saw monsters. Tell us a bit more about what's going on there.
The military unit that you're playing as, they don't really know what they're coming up against. They're not human, they're bigger, they're larger, they're faster. The team aren't going to know if there's one or two of them, or hundreds or thousands. And that's kind of the threat. Because, they've got guns. Maybe they could try and take one of them down. But maybe there's another one around the corner. Maybe there's a group of them, and maybe they're going to get ambushed.
Maybe they're like a cluster.
Exactly, yeah. A nest, as it were. And it's been really fun to work on and see these things move around and how horrific they can be. They're different to us. They perceive the world in a different way. getting little snippets of it in the darkness, and did I see that? Was it something that moved? Or is it actually just one of the other soldiers that's stuck in the catacomb?
Who's there?
We like to try and misdirect people on things, that did you see something, did you not? And that's a great thing within horror, that you think you're going to be scared right now, and we're not going to scare you now, we'll scare you in a minute when you're not expecting it.
It's always coming.
Yeah, always.
So should we expect a huge amount of peril in the game?
Definitely. We love to do it. It's fun for us to work on. It's horrific as it is, and we know that our fans love it as well. So yeah, there's at least 60 unique deaths, and there's a whole ton of variation on that as well. So Merwin and some of the others, you're going to see different things happening to them depending on how you play it out, getting ripped and shredded and torn. And because there's a firefight, there's going to be bullets flying as well and all kinds of stuff. And it's not just the deaths, it's the gore that goes along with it. And lots of blood.
Wicked. It sounds absolutely terrifying. I'm in.
Not gonna lie, man. It's pretty bad.
What differences have you made or changes have you made to the gameplay and mechanics for House of Ashes?
We're always evolving the Dark Pictures. We listen to a lot of the feedback from our fans, and also our team, what they want to do, how they want to push things forward. So we tried some stuff in Little Hope with more camera control, 360 cameras at certain parts, and we've really leaned on that again, and it really works well.
Camera control.
In House of Ashes, lots of the game is set underground, and so these sort of corridors which are really tight and so we've had to learn, because you take away the fixed cameras, and that takes away some opportunities for horror, but we've had to learn new tricks to scare people and ramp up the tension and the chance to jump scares, which some people love. We've also got a new torture mechanic, so it's military themed, so these guys are going to be walking around with weapons, with torches mounted on them. We love the lighting that we do, this really inky black darkness that we have, and sort of the contrast to the bright areas. And so you're going to need to lean on that torch to allow you to see where you're going, what and that kind of stuff. We've also done things like added difficulty settings to this game. So in Little Hope we added QTE warning icons as an example, and we've got some really good positive feedback about that, but also some people want to turn that off. We want to allow you to play the game in your way. So with our accessibility settings and difficulty settings, if you want to have a more casual experience, you can change those settings. Still, most of your characters are going to end up dead, but that's
spoilers, but that's what we come here for. That's okay, we can deal with it. So I've got to ask,
so Ashley was fantastic. She researched Rachel, she understood her when she came. She's so refreshing, she knew her inside. And Rachel is a flawed character, so she brought that through so fantastically. The rest of the cast was fantastic as well.
We're looking for Joey.
Lost symbol, Sangonu Sankete. Oya pot hatare innawani.
Flip your
Robert Langdon
We want you to connect to these characters and understand them as humans. We want them to see more because they're real to us. We spend a long time designing them, and I don't mind if you hate any one individual character, because you don't like everyone in real life. But maybe you'll like them when you see the journey they go on.
Maybe you'll like them once they're dead. And
you feel bad about it, definitely. But also we want you to save them. We want you to try and save them. We know that some people want to get everyone killed straight away, and that's fine. That's their playthrough, that's what they want to do. But, can you get everyone out alive and save as many as you can?
There's a lot of replayability there.
Indeed,
It's on forever. I like that. So, last question. Favourite scene?
Favourite scene? So, Salim, our Iraqi soldier, and Jason Kolchak, one of the Marines that's there. There's a way that can play out, and a sort of contest between them, and you can make it go in a number of different ways.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
It's really emotional. Seeing them film it, I was lucky enough to be there, and then seeing that come through again, I think we've got something there. I think that's gold. And then, of course, I love scaring people, so I love the jump scares. I love the moments of tension that we bring. We can't hold you in that moment, so we've got some fantastic jokes in there as well to allow you to relax for a moment before we scare you again.
To take your mind off. I like that. Dan, thank you so much. This has been really cool to talk about, and I'm sure I'm excited and terrified in equal part.
And it's been a real pleasure to speak to you, and I can't wait to get into it.
Enemy of my enemy is my friend. October 22 ළඟදී මෙනවයි කිය. හොඳ ගේම් එකක් වෙයි වගේ ඒක නම් අර ප්‍රශ්නේ අරින්න
Before we dive in the House of Ashes, see how scared you got, of course, we want to thank Razer for being one of the E3 2021 sponsors, of course, giving us these tired old blades nobody cares about. But this Blade 14 RTX 3080 built right in, of course, the Razer.
I'm taking that.
Thank you so much. No, I'm taking that.
Okay, we'll fight.
Okay, well,
we've done it before.
You know what? I'll take the hand-me-down. I'll be little brother. I'll take the outdated. Nobody wants these anymore, right? Doesn't worry. Golden Boy, you just saw the Dark Pictures anthology.
Yeah.
Your first glimpse of it. We have some reactions from you.
Oh, you do?
They were recording you. They said you were a little scared, not terrified.
Not terrified, thankfully, because it was just a normal trailer, which is fine.
See,
there's my face.
You're unsettled for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, you don't like that. You
don't like that. Not a fan of that one either. Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, I think that was one of the jump scares in the trailer. I got the willies there at the end too. Yeah. I am not crazy about horror. I was actually talking to the crew at the back, and I said, it really takes a very twisted mind to come up with these things. But it is impressive, though.
Yeah.
Right? You heard there in the interview, Dan saying I love the jump scares. I live for the jump scares. It's
60 different death animations is what that was something he wanted to make sure, because of course this is a choose your own adventure. If you've never played a Dark Picture anthology, right? You are moving characters in a third person. You jump around. It's like you're watching a movie. You make choices. Those choices leads to different permutations, different setups, different settings, which leads to different deaths or no deaths if you're really, really good. But that's the idea, right? Is that you're playing in your own horror movie is developing, and it gives you the reason to replay it.
Yeah. Also, a pleasant surprise for me was that Ashley Tisdale is in it. I didn't know that going into it, which I was like, wow, this is definitely an upgrade from High School Musical. This is definitely a quick turnaround. Big different genre. But yeah, and I think also because we had the VO panel yesterday, which was great.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show, right? Like the impact that video games are having. Hollywood stars coming in, lending their voice, lending their face, their acting, their skills to this, really bringing these characters to life is just going to add even more layers to this horror.
That's a huge thing. If you've never played before, performance capture is a huge deal for Supermassive. They go through, they use the facial animation. They want you to feel like you're watching a movie. So we will see soon enough how the Dark Pictures anthology pans out this time around with House of Ashes. But for now, let's toss it over to the one, the only, Jackie Jing.
Brothers in arms, or each man for himself. Survival depends on choice. Will you find the path to save everyone, or be lost in the darkness? I'm sorry, I'm just a little excited about this title. Dan, I saw you taking lots of notes. You were taking notes about the mechanics, actually, but I know you're really thrilled with the story as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I am here for this. So.
Well, I'm a big old history nerd, so I was super stoked to hear more about the setting. It's really tying in a lot of ancient lore about the Akkadian Empire. You have Naram Sin, this guy who declared himself like the god king of the Akkadian Empire and desecrated this temple, and now it's coming back to haunt us in modern day. It's also interesting to use the setting. It is definitely a fraught time period during which to set a game, but also I think a rich sort of backdrop for horror into this setting, because you're tapping into sort of Mesopotamian mythology of Pazuzu, this king of wind demons who's tormenting all of these soldiers, and I'm really excited to see what they can do. I told you I was taking notes, I did some research. I'm excited. I can't wait to experience all 60 death animations.
I know the 60 unique deaths. Okay, Avi-chan's face right now is just killing me. Avi, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that if I'm ever trapped in like a dark cave, I'm probably going to stick next to Dan because he understands what we should be doing. King of what now? You're looking up all this history on Pazuzu?
He's the king of wind demons. No big deal.
Come on, everybody knows that. I don't even know what the king of wind demons is. What was it?
Oh, he's Pazuzu.
Oh my goodness, okay.
You may remember him from The Exorcist as well?
Yes, okay. Avi, you are obviously a big fan of Serpentine, like, I could go on. Pazuzu! Exactly! I was like, okay. But Avi, we've been talking about Resident Evil Village, like, at length. We both like horror survival. But also, like, when someone's playing with us, and I thought that it's great that it's co-op, so we can get scared together while we play.
Yeah, I'm just going to be sitting behind Dan and watching him play, because that's exactly what I did with Until Dawn, because I'm like, cool, I can't hold a controller and, try to guide these teenagers to safety. I'm going to step on a branch and individually kill them all. But Dan was going into like the history of all of it, and I'm going into like, oh, 2003, that's a little too close. And I didn't pass all my history classes, but I hope that Pazuzu doesn't, pop up anywhere in a textbook. But something that was really interesting for me when we were going through the trailers and going through that whole dev talk is that they showed us Pazuzu. They showed us the monster. They showed us what it looks like inside the cave. So there's part of me wondering, like, usually with horror games, you don't show people the scary right away. So I'm wondering if maybe there's like a hidden layer of something else that they're not showing us yet that's going to catch people off guard, thinking that they're going in going like, I did my research, I know everything.
I know how to deal with a Pazuzu, this is easy.
So you two would fall into the depths together, and then I would somehow be stuck with Michael, and he'd be like talking about JRPGs, and I'd be like, oh my goodness, we're in a world of hurt right now.
If I make a deal with the devil, I can turn into a very attractive protagonist, and then I could probably possess Pazuzu if I do negotiations like you can in SMT5. No, anyway, like one thing I want to say about this one is the free cam controls. That's different for Supermassive. So
බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ කියලා ප්‍රධාන වශයෙන් අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා.
camera angles and what
මේකෙන්
you see
මේ
before
කියන්නේ අර
choices, I'm
මේ
sure
වෙන්න
there's
පිළිවන් වේ
actually
වෙන මොකක් හරි දෙයක්
choices
බලාපොරොත්තු
and
වෙනවා
all
කියන
that
එක
stuff. It's just
කියන්නේ අදහස නම් මට නම්
something
ආවේ.
new from them, so I just want to see how that plays out, especially when I'm with a bunch of other people trying to get very scaled.
And David, I know you're all about retro games, but I also know you love a good story. I know for me, I felt like this had a lot of heart. There was dialogue that we saw, and it really hit me to my core.
Yeah, and they showed the actors doing the motion capture. I love horror movies, I love horror games. I'm a kind of a gore hound. I love blood and guts, and I love kill gags. Whoa. So like, I'm looking forward to see all the inventive and clever ways that Pazuzu is going to kill our soldier friends.
Oh boy.
Boy, I just like saying Pazuzu, even though it's absolutely horrifying. Yes. Anyways, GOMS, I can't talk. Games have changed and evolved so much over the years, and with those changes, so has the coverage of our favorite games. Outlets like PC Gamer, IGN, Polygon, and GameSpot have all led the way in gaming coverage, and for the first time ever, we've assembled the editors-in-chief of all those organizations and our voices.
නෑ කැමතිම ට්‍රේලර් එකේ නෝට්ස් නෙවෙයි මේ ට්‍රේලර් එකේ මොනවටද වැඩිපුර කැමති කියන එක. එහෙම තමයි අහලා තිබුණේ ගොඩක් කට්ටිය. ඒ අහලා තිබුණේ ප්‍රශ්නේ.
Hello, welcome back to E3 2021.
මම හිතන්නේ ඉවෙන්ට් එකේ එක විතරයි වගේ පෙන්නන්නේ නේ.
Which is one of the world's biggest video games business websites.
මම හිතන්නේ ඒකට ඉවෙන්ට් එක කියලා පෙන්නුවේ House of Ashes විතරයි වගේ. Elden Ring වත් මොකුත් පෙන්වන්නේ නැහැ කියලා තමයි මට හිතෙන්නේ. මොකද දැන් වෙන පැත්තකට යන්නේ නේද ඉවෙන්ට් එක.
Rather than me do the introductions, I like to pass over to the panel. Hello everybody. Who
මම
are
හිතන්නේ
you?
ඉවෙන්ට් එක ඉවරයි. Yes.
How did you get here?
ඉවෙන්ට් එක ඉවරයි.
Sure. I'm Christopher Thomas playing. That's my full
awards ගැන කතා කරන ටික පටන්
sounds
ගත්තා.
like Christmas
ඒ
playing.
කියන්නේ Bandai Namco ලාගේ ඉවෙන්ට් එක ඉවරයි. මම හිතුවේ නෑ එච්චර ඉක්මනට ඉවර වෙයි කියලා. මේ ඉවෙන්ට් එක කියපු දේවල් මම හිතුවේ ඉවෙන්ට් එක දිගටම මීටර් අරගෙන යයි කියලා. ඒ සාමාන්‍ය ඉවෙන්ට් එක ඉවර කරද්දී අපි මෙහෙම ඉවර කරනවා කියලා ලස්සනට ඉවර කරනවනේ. මම හිතන්නේ මෙතනින් ඉවර වෙන්නේ නැති අර ඩිස්කෂන් එකත් එක්ක. එහෙනම් ඉතින් මෙතනින් එහාට මේක බලලා තේරුමක් නැහැ නේද? අපි ඊළඟ ඉවෙන්ට් එකත් එක්ක එකතු වෙමු. ඊළඟ ඉවෙන්ට් එක නම් තියෙන්නේ 5යි කාලට. සමහරට වල නිදාගෙනම හැරෙන්නත් පුළුවන් වෙයි මේක බලන්න. දැන් වෙලාව 3යිනේ. කැමති කට්ටිය එකතු වෙන්න awards ceremony එක තියෙන්නේ මේකේ awards දෙන most anticipated game මොනම තියෙන awards ටික. බලමු අපි ඒකත් මොනවද මේකෙදි. එතකොට අපිට summary එකක් පුත් බලන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි සමහර විට E3 ගැන. ඒකෙන් E3 ඉවර වෙනවා. එහෙනම් අපි ඒකත් එක්ක එකතු වෙමු නේ. එහෙනම් ගිහිල්ලා එන්නම්. ජය වේවා පොඩි event එකක්. පොඩි event එකක් වුණත් ඉතින් අපි බැලුවා කතා කරා. ඒක සතුටුයි. එහෙනම් සුබ උදෑසනක් වේවා තම සුබ උදෑසනක් වේවා. එහෙනම් ගිහිල්ලා එන්න ඊළඟ ඉවෙන්ට් එකත් එක්ක එකතු වෙන්න. ජය වේවා. බයි.